I am a horrible person and webcamming this again, but my plan was, okay, I'll charge my camera and then I'll take it out this weekend and I can get some nice, actual footage as opposed to just the sparkly butterflies. But I'm really kicking myself for not having it in my bag at all times like I usually do, because it was one of our coworkers' birthdays today. She wouldn't tell us how old she was turning. She's somewhere in her 30s. I remember one of the coworkers I'm closest to, one of the Korean teachers. And this cake, very tasty, from one of the local chain bakeries in the area. But the tops of most of their cakes are covered in fruit. So this one had strawberries and grapes and some orange slices, kiwi, and then it had cherry tomatoes. There was just like this row of like 6 cherry tomatoes on top of this birthday cake. And they had like this syrupy glaze thing on them. And I've never seen cherry tomatoes on a cake before. And it kind of blew my mind. And I got cell phone camera pictures, but I really wish that I'd been able to get like a vlog shot for that, because cherry tomatoes on a birthday cake. So yeah, now that I'm doing this, I'm gonna go over a couple of the questions that I've gotten. Not that there are that many. One person asked if you need to be a native English speaker to teach here. I'm not sure about native, but you do have to be fluent. I have a couple of friends who have come from South Africa, actually. So I know that they speak Afrikaans in addition to English, but I don't know, I don't actually know what counts as South Africa's official language, so if they fall into the native English speaker or if they're just fluent in it. But I'm pretty sure that you just have to prove your fluency to come to South Korea to teach. A lot of it might depend on your school and your recruiting agency, though. A couple people have asked about North Korea. It was really big news right after the island was shelled, and it was kind of everywhere. I guess in Seoul tensions were really high, but where I was, life pretty much continued as normal. And life is still continuing as normal. As far as I can tell, there aren't any upped security measures, aren't any practices. The day that it happened, we were asking our boss, should we be worried? Will we be sent home early because of war? What's going on? And he was just like, oh, it happens. The general consensus, at least among people I've talked to, has kind of been like, oh, North Korea, you stop that. Tisk tisk. No one's really freaked out about it that I've seen. Like I said, I guess up in Seoul, a lot of people were calling for a harsher government response, but where I am, it's pretty much life is normal. So I guess that is good, though. It's nice to not, you're able to sort of forget about it and not really view it as a pressing threat. So, I don't have to worry about, walking to school and getting bombed by North Korea on the streets. It gives a peace of mind. I don't know if it's the best way to deal with things. I don't actually know if North Korea is any kind of a major threat, but one thing that I have done is you can sign up with, you can register with the U.S. State Department as a foreigner living abroad, and you tell them what country you are. You're basically registered with the U.S. Consulate in Seoul. And I get a monthly newsletter directly emailed to me, which is just here's what's happening. And if something happens, that's out of the ordinary, they email you. And so they keep you informed, they let you know if there's anything to worry about. And so as long as the U.S. Embassy isn't telling me to panic, I'm not gonna. But yeah. That's great. So, my classes are going well. The kids are some of the kids are really good. You change classes a lot. It's just kind of the nature of the Hagwon. Kids get moved up levels, they get moved down levels, kids quit, kids come in. So there's not a lot of consistency with the classes that you're getting. I would assume there would be more in a public school. But I'm kind of frustrated because they took all of the 5th grade students with behavior issues and put them in one class. And I, of course, am the lucky teacher that has that class, which is just, you know, ugh. But I just like, why would you take all of these students and put them in one class? Because they just play off of each other's badness. And it's probably because they're all at the bottom of their classes because they never do their homework. Some of my students actually have negative points because you take points from them as a way to enforce behavior. We get to grade the students, and their parents get grade reports from both the foreign teacher and the Korean teacher. And so you're supposed to take minus points as a way of encouraging good behavior. And so one of my things is that every time I hear your voice when you're supposed to be quiet, I'm taking points from you. So I have some kids who have like -10 just because they're poorly behaved. And it sucks because I want to be the fun teacher. With like my 3rd graders, we play tons of games. We play games almost every day. And you know, we're supposed to be pretty strict with the kids. We're supposed to be really hard on them. We're supposed to discipline them. We're supposed to correct them all the time. We're supposed to test them. Parents call and complain if they don't think you're giving them enough homework. So you have to have a pretty high level of academics to make everyone happy with you. But generally what I do is if I can get through a lesson and I've got 10 minutes left in class, I'm going to let the kids play a game. And the game has to be in English, but it's more fun for them, it's more fun for me, and they're getting something out of it, you know. But with classes that I have to spend like 20 minutes just disciplining them to get them to listen to me so I can tell them what page to open their book to, they don't get to play the games, and then they complain that class is boring and that they're not going to pay attention until we have fun, but they haven't shown that they can have fun because they're so horribly behaved. It's kind of a downer actually because it's such a bad class that it kind of ruins the fact that my other classes are really awesome and I love them. But yeah, so this is my 2nd upload. I promised I wouldn't do the webcam thing again, but I'm not that good at thinking ahead, as you may have realized, so yeah, just wanted to tell you about the cherry tomatoes on a cake. That's really the long and short of it. And oh, thank you to everyone so far who has subscribed and commented and watched. Definitely feels a little weird to be doing this still, but thank you so much. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I hope you continue to enjoy it. And yeah, this weekend I'm gonna go out and get some actual footage that's not the butterfly wallpaper. So thank you. Good night.